So, how to measure the volatility? You'll see there are so many techniques of how to measure the volatility, but the standard one of measuring the volatility is employing the standard deviation. But before we go for that, there are two types of volatility in the market. The first one is called as a historical volatility. The other one is called as implied volatility. As mentioned here, the first one is a historical volatility. The other one is the implied volatility. Historical volatility is a standard one. It is defined as an annualized standard deviation of percentage changes in future prices over a specific periods. So we will see what are the changes in the electricity prices over a duration of time, and based upon that changes, we will determine the standard deviation and we will annualize it over an entire year. So this is called as an historical volatility, and it is basically an indication of past volatility in the marketplaces. Whereas implied volatility, it is a measurement of market's expected price range of the underlying commodity futures based on the market traded options premiums. It is a timely measure and it reflects market's perceptions too. And implied volatility can be biased, especially if they are based upon options that are very thinly traded. It may give you unwanted results. So most of the times we'll be employing the historical volatility in this lecture. So as already mentioned, historical volatility is nothing but annualized standard deviation of the price changes. So standard deviation, it is used to measure the uncertainty of a random variable. So if standard deviation is high means, then the volatility will be very high. So high standard deviation, volatility will be high. So that's right. It itself is considered to be a measure of risk. So standard deviation is generally represented by sigma, and it is square root of variance. So if variance is high, standard deviation is high. If standard deviation is high, volatility is high. All these terms, if you are a good statistics engineer, then you will be easily knowing when you have studied in your intermediate or mathematics. So variance is a measure of dispersion of a probability distribution. So based upon variance, standard deviation will be there, and based upon standard deviation, we will discuss about volatility. Now, see, this is variance. Let us suppose E of x is the expected value of any x. Now, this is E of x is, let us suppose if I consider electricity price. So expected value of electricity price is called as E of electricity price. Now, variance is nothing but E of x square minus E of x whole square. If I apply square root for this one, I'll get standard deviation represented by this symbol, square root of E of x square minus E of x whole square. And if I want daily volatility, I will divide it with annual volatility by root t, where t is nothing but the number of active days in this daily volatility. So if I want standard deviation of daily, I'll calculate standard deviation of annual by square root of 252, where 252 is nothing but an active working days. Normally in a week we do have 5 working days, right? So that's why we will employ 252 only. This is a representation of now let us suppose normally this is a standard deviation curve. This is a high standard deviation curve, whereas this is a low standard deviation curve, and based upon this we'll be having volatility. See, the prices are varying too much, so that's why you are getting this high standard deviation. If you are getting high standard deviation, means the volatility is high. See here, now the prices are not varying much with respect to time. So if you plot the standard deviation curve, then we will get this in this fashion. So which indicates that the prices are not volatile in nature and they are very close to each other. with respect to time. So if we are unable to understand these things particularly, we will immediately calculate standard deviations and we will draw these curves. So the picture of this will give us an easy analysis of the volatility in any commodity. So this is a simple problem which will be asked for 1 mark. Say a participant in electricity market has 1% daily volatility estimates for his investments. It implies that daily returns for his investment are expected to vary about 1% from day to day. Determine the annualized volatility. As we have already seen, annualized volatility and daily volatility. Sorry. Where 252 is the actual. So I'll multiply this one, I'll get this particular answer, 15.874%. Okay. Now, I hope now you have understood the different factors which are contributing to volatility in the electricity markets. I hope that you are able to explain them in detail. We have discussed about 7 factors: load uncertainty, fuel prices, irregularity in hydropower generation, market participants, transmission condition, unscheduled outages. So all these factors, they contribute to volatility in the electricity markets. And now in the last thing you have seen different terms which are used to analyze the volatility in the electricity markets. So I hope now you can explain these things, what are the major sources of electricity price volatility, and explain them in detail, and in particular how does market power affect the volatility of electricity prices. Thank you. In the next class we will see about the different indices which are used across the globe for indicating the price volatility. Thank you.